So there's this thing that happens when I go on break, and I come back and I have no sound, and I have to start the stream over. So I'm not sure if that did it, because I'm not sure if it's Hi, can you hear me? I'm back. Yeah, so there's the thing that happens, and I don't know why it happens. I'm very frustrated with Streamlabs lately. I'm not really sure what's going on. You can hear me. Yay. I'm just putting like these obnoxious hearts on here just in case anybody is unclear on what side of the argument I was on when it comes to this dumb fandom thing. Once upon a time, there was Mulder and Scully. No, come back. Fandom wanted to know, should they kiss? Thus began the first recorded ship war. There you go. You killed another merc. I missed you too, Meg. Now we're gonna add pictures of these dum-dums in here. Let's put them right there. And what about that one? Let's do. Four more mercs to Immortal Horse, so now it's 3. 2 from tier 2, and then the tier 1 merc in the arena. Yes. So, yeah. So we got that. So that's the first thing. Woo! I did a thing. Now I got 5 viewers. Dang. Let's see. So let's see. I'm gonna have to use this to like explain the misscribed BS. Let's see. I think chronologically, either the Final Fantasy house is next, or chronologically, either Final Fantasy house is next, or Van Fiction. Andy Blake. I really do love that this is where the term started. Yeah, me too. It's kind of hilarious that it's still around. Let's see. Do we want the paranormal FBI agents to kiss? Yes? No? I think a no-romo is what an anti would be called now. Or an anti would be called a no-romo back then. Let's see. So I think Final Fantasy house. So let's, what do we got? Snape Wives, Described, Final Fantasy house. I've got the Down the Rabbit Hole. I want to see if there's anything on Fanlore about it. There we go. Let's see. All right. So basically, does it? Who knows about the Final Fantasy house? Because basically, it's this story of this person who met a girl who thought she was a certain character from Final Fantasy. And this girl, over a length of time, had convinced all of her friends that they were various characters from Final Fantasy, and had like sort of moved them into her house and had them doing like exercises to get in touch with their Final Fantasy versions of themselves. I do not. I think I am too young for this fandom drama. I'm learning lots. There is a really excellent YouTube video about the Final Fantasy house if you are interested. I'm going to pop it in the chat. That is Down the Rabbit Hole. Did a thing on the Final Fantasy house. It's kind of outdated because that girl also, like, the two crazy cult leaders that I know of both hopped fandoms. Like, this girl ended up hopping over to, like, Hannibal, and I think there was another incredibly Tumblr fandom that they got involved with for a while. And then Andy Blake was just wild. He's been in almost every fandom. Technically Andy Blake is first. That's a big story. I want to talk about the Snake Wives. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Let's start with this. I want to do just a little more. Movies and fiction. See, Andy has the whole Tumblr. That's just a whole thing. This is what I was looking for earlier. Okay, so this is Andy's ex-girlfriend and someone who was convinced that she was a character from Lord of the Rings. And let's see. Oh, look, it's more X-Files. Like, we need to flee country, move to Toronto. Let's trying to get into, like, the stuff I recognize. My internet's being dumb, so I had to refresh again, but I see we're talking about 3 Cult Man. Yes. This is... Let's see. Operation Catch and Release. Oh, she's written new stuff. God. This is an entirely new post. Hang on. The original one that I see. There is cult-related resources. Crazy Train, is that? No, that's not it. Personal Journal of Diamond. Sorry, this is the research part. It's not very interesting until it very much becomes interesting. Let's see, I don't know what this is. This is a live journal. Dang. Running 3 cults sounds exhausting. To be fair, they were cults in succession, not at the same time. I'm trying to find this girl's original is a lot of what I've written or referenced will be confusing. Here's a bit of who's who and what's what. Excuse me, I used to have it alphabetically, but I think that made it more confusing. I've read this blog before and I can't. I'm trying to, because there's one where she like talks about how this person convinced her to have spirit children, and like she thought she had a bunch of spirit children. I think she also thought Elrond was her father at one point. Oh, see, there's... Oh, and that's the crux of all of... Like, the very beginning of it was a Lord of the Rings fan convention that this person, Andy, had been part of arranging. And they basically, like, it was basically a scam. And it ended up, sort of like, people like Sean Astin and a couple of other people from Lord of the Rings were actually, like, flown out and then left with nowhere to stay. See, there's so much of this. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna need older ones. This is the uninteresting part. I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. This is the post. Let's see. The start of a packet we were preparing to give to new recruits. It was Diamond. Diamond was still with us. And let's see, there's a bunch of stuff. Let's see. Andy regularly explained why I had been chosen to be his constant. He talked about other people on Earth who might have had my place. There were a number of qualifying factors, including low-level telepathic and empathetic power, which allowed me to sometimes sense the elves and hobbits in their own dimensions standing near me. Andy, of course, could just see them. My faith, my loyalty, the fact that in a previous life I had been Tolkien. In high school, I got in a past lives kit that used to believe I had been a professor in one. Andy knew this before he introduced the Tolkien thing. I was the one who believed Andy when he started channeling Mary Brandybuck. I participated in several spiritual battles. Once I was a constant, there were endless missions. While Diamond and Little Sam were with us, we had to help mend Frodo's 6,000-year-old case of PTSD. He was still having ring fits, still terribly damaged. We listened to Sam and Frodo's true stories about the Ring Quest and how Tolkien's wife was able to channel the hobbits too, which is part of how he learned the story himself. We helped Pippin and Merry come to terms with the rest of their post-quest lives and from the curse that had tormented them for the next 6,000 years. We also helped Jordan, who was secretly Elijah Wood, remember, cope with a lifetime of hideous, crippling abuse. Note, none of this has anything to do with the real Elijah Wood. To be fair, the third one was stopped before it started, as I understand things, but an attempt was made. Yeah, no, they didn't get very far with the Marvel thing. They just, like... The Marvel thing happened after... it was after, like, this post and a whole bunch of other stuff had been written, after he'd broken bad with, like, 2 big fandoms and then a couple of, I think he tried it again in a couple of other little ones. I think My Hero Academia was another one that he tried. It's really not 3 cults. It's really he just starts a new one whenever things go badly. Sorry. But yeah, no, the Marvel one didn't get very far because everybody just kind of knew his stuff, and it, like, he had claimed to be, like, rehabilitated and going to therapy, and then he started writing blog posts where he talked about having dreams that were flashbacks to the 1940s, and started showing up cosplaying Bucky at different like Marvel shoots, and it didn't fly with people. I know I told a lot of people who he was, and eventually it just kind of went away. I haven't seen him again anyway. Critical Role, that was the other one. That was it. Not My Hero Academia. I don't know why I said that. Critical Role. Yeah, that was the one. But yeah, no, this is just, like, I feel so bad about all of this. Rue was the name of one of my childhood imaginary friends. Supposedly, this was my way of saying Elrond because he was my guardian angel my whole life. Drawing of me in costume done by one of my adopted children. So, like, this person would channel her adopted children and pretend like he was these children. This, I think, is the post that they made. It's 2011, so it was probably when the Dadian stuff was still going on. There is also a YouTube video about Andy. So we're gonna open up this. Sorry guys, we had a quick food emergency. Marty was pre-cooking some of his lunches, and olive oil has a low smoke point. So I am not on fire. Is my friend Marty setting the house on fire? It was your friend Marty. He was just setting some chicken on smoke because it did not actually become fire. So the name of the Lord of the Rings con was Tentmoot. Just Andy scams real, actual Lord of the Rings actors. Let's see. There is another part of it where, like, let me see if there's, like, a timeline. Andy Blake, a timeline, part 3. Timeline master post. Holy cow. Timeline covers the major events that I'm aware of regarding each of the usernames and pseudonyms that Andy has used over the years. This is a whole panel. I can't help but laugh at the end. Okay, so sometime between July and November, Amy Player uses the email address that one, shares her first fic, says she is 15, living in a small rural part of America. She must wait several months for the bookmobile to bring the books to her. Star Writer makes her first post on alt.startrek.creative. For those of you who are too young to know what that means, that is a Usenet group. Some members of the Star Trek Voyager and Due South fandoms will eventually get to know Star Writer as Amy Player. Star Writer says she is 15 years old, a college student, holding down at least 2 jobs, and a professional actress, singer, and dancer. She uses the email address again. She writes fanfiction, fan art, and enjoys running fanfiction contests. Voyager Babe makes her first post on alt.startrek.creative. Some members of the Star Trek Voyager and Due South fandoms eventually get to know Voyager Babe as Ciara. Voyager Babe claims to be an 18-year-old college student and a victim of childhood sexual abuse. I love you, Meg. Let's see. I was just trying to explain because I'm an old... And I used to go on Usenet groups to get my fan fiction. I was subscribed to Star Wars Usenet groups, and what would happen is that they would just, it was like if Tumblr, but emails. It was like if Tumblr, but emails. It's the best way to describe a Usenet group, because you would just get conversations, but like every single entry in the conversation was another email. So let's see. Star Writer and Voyager Babe each make posts on Usenet and Yahoo Group. Yahoo Groups is another big place to find fandom stuff back then. In 1998, they claimed they are both using Star Writer's computer to read and post to Usenet groups because Voyager Babe doesn't have a home computer and can't access news groups at the library. She's pretending to be 2 people. And no more Star Trek. So it started in Star Trek, which is... Feel better, Meg. I also managed to miss Usenet groups, not by much though, just because I didn't have my own email at first. Yeah, I had Usenet groups, and do you guys remember Altel? Because that phone company doesn't exist anymore. I feel so sorry for my family because we all shared a single email address. I had Star Wars Usenet stuff coming into our family email address. Oh, let's see. Star Writer bows out of online fandom. Due South fandom. This is so much longer than I was expecting. Victoria Bitter is the Lord of the Rings one, I think. Posted the first time to HH Fic, a Horatio Hornblower Yahoo group, says she is a 20-year-old waitress and theme park portrait artist. And she has been a living history interpreter for 10 years, but she's 20. And she travels internationally for her work as an actress. She continues to use the email address. God, they had done this. I was a GeoCities web ring fic baby. I did those too. That's how I found a lot of Sailor Moon fanfic. Yeah, I thought the Lord of the Rings stuff was a start too, but apparently it started all the way back in Star Trek Voyager. Victoria Bitter briefly joins a discussion of names found in Lord of the Rings, Hornblower, and the works of C.S. Lewis. Is her last post to that group and her last participation in HH fandom. I don't know what HH means. Is that a Lord of the Rings thing? Let's see. Oh yeah, I'm leaving out a couple of brief relationships and a lot of sexuality, gender-related stuff, because this is not about gender or sexuality. I will use the preferred pronouns that pertain to whichever of Andy's aliases I am discussing at the time. Andy is trans and uses he, him pronouns. Now, this particular blog post timeline is referring to Andy by the pronouns of whatever the alias at the time was, because Andy has many, many alias. Horatio Hornblower. Okay, cool. That's where it lived, and the Sailor Moon fic lived in the web rings. Yeah, it really did. On it and a Sailor Moon romance, which is why when ASMR became such a big thing on like YouTube, I was so confused, because for me, ASMR stands for a Sailor Moon romance, and I was very confused the whole time. Let's go back and look. I'm just falling down a rabbit hole here. We're probably going to end on the Andy Blake timeline, and I have gotten like 2 slides done, but it's fine. Let's see. Victoria Bitter, still using the email address Voyager Babe. Starts the Bit of Earth Yahoo group. That was the Lord of the Rings group. The same day, she emails the webmaster of Sean Astin's official website to let them know about the group and encourage Sean to get involved. Chris, the Marine that VB supposedly met is showing at the Fellowship of the Ring, posts twice to Bit of Earth. The Yahoo handle Renegade and the email address that. Wow, this is detailed. Connections, Bella fans, LJ friends. I don't really care about their romantic entanglements. It's a great Hobbit brain dump. Oh, that's what it is. Okay, so this is in which Victoria Bitter claims to receive Mary's soul in his lifetime of memories. Mary chronicles his experience in the Branda Gamba live journal and teaches people pseudo-Westron via chat. That's still there. Oh, it is. It is. This is all him. Oh, wild. I don't think I've seen his live journal before. Okay, so I know that this is neither here nor there, but the linguist in me wants to inform you that this is bullshit. I know you know it's bullshit, because it's bullshit, but also, Professor Tolkien would never. I heard a mention of C.S. Lewis, and I'm like, how many of my baby fandoms did dude infiltrate? That one was pretty easy to, HH wasn't one of mine, but is super adjacent to Pirates of the Caribbean, especially the Navy boys community within Pirates of the Caribbean fandom. Also, Western language lessons. What? Yeah. Yeah, this is a lot. Cause like, look here. This project chronicles the memoir, so to speak, of Callimac Brandagamba, or Meriadoc Brandybuck, as he was called in The Lord of the Rings. This is wild. Occasionally the translator may screw up. This is buck wild. Guys, I'm probably gonna have to finish the rest of this off screen because I have some other stuff I have to do tonight and I couldn't stay on very long. I just looked at a watch, it's not on my hand. But I will let you know. I will put up a link to the finished like panel PowerPoint if you want to look at it. I've also done some fan language stuff, but yeah, no, that's wild. I'm gonna go ahead and call it here. If you guys want to look at this timeline, I will post it. Actually, I think I'm gonna post it in the Discord because I need it. So I'm I'm going to put it over here and be like, this is the Andy Van Fiction timeline. We were talking about in stream. Okay, so that's in there if anybody wants to look at this. Thank you for hanging out with me. I will probably get this done a lot faster now that I'm not distracted. But thank you very much. I will talk to you guys. I will not be streaming on Friday. Once again, I apologize because I'm going to be giving panels. I love you all. As always, stay safe, stay sane, wash your hands. We love you. Bye.